My friends, there comes a moment in every life when the pages behind us feel heavy, when the ink of yesterday's mistakes, the pain, the regret, seems to blur the beauty of who we could become. We look back at chapters filled with loss, fear, hesitation, and we wonder if that's all there is. But I'm here to tell you, that's not where your story ends. Because no matter what you've been through, no matter how many pages you wish you could erase, you hold the pen right now. The next chapter has not yet been written, and it begins the moment you decide to write it. There comes a moment in every life when we must confront the truth that no one can begin again for us. The power to begin again is not found in the hands of others. It's found in the quiet resolve of our own heart. Too often, we wait for the perfect time, the perfect sign, the perfect chance. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only this one, imperfect, uncertain, and yet full of possibility. The power to begin again does not come from what you've lost. It comes from what still lives within you. The courage to start is not born out of comfort, but out of conviction. The deep belief that your story is not over yet. Every person who has ever rebuilt their life started in the same place. At the edge of fear, they looked at the ashes of what was and chose to rise. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for everything to make sense. They simply decided that their past would not be their prison. They stood up, dusted themselves off, and said, "I will try again." And that choice, that simple, powerful choice, became the spark that changed everything. Beginning again doesn't mean erasing your past. It means redeeming it. It means taking the lessons, the scars, the tears, and transforming them into wisdom. It means realizing that the pain you've carried wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to build you. Every setback has prepared you for the strength required in your next step. Every disappointment was a lesson disguised as delay. The power to begin again lies in your willingness to believe that there is more ahead than there is behind. It's the refusal to let yesterday define what tomorrow can be. It's the understanding that failure is not final. It's feedback. Life will not hand you a restart button, but it will always offer you a choice to stay where you are or to rise where you stand. So wherever you are right now, remember this: it's not too late to begin again, not because life has changed, but because you can. The power was never lost. It was waiting for you to claim it. You are not a spectator in your own life. You are not meant to sit in the stands, watching your story unfold from a distance, hoping that someday things will turn in your favor. You are the author, not the audience. The pen belongs to you, and every decision you make, every word you speak, every dream you chase, they are the sentences that fill the pages of your life. Too many people surrender that pen to fear, to failure, to the opinions of others. They let the world write their story for them, and then wonder why the chapters feel hollow. But the moment you take that pen back, the moment you decide to write with your own voice, everything begins to change. Your life is not a script written by someone else. It is a living story, and you have the power to shape its direction. The challenges you face, the heartbreaks you endure, the dreams you've set aside, all of it can be rewritten when you stop waiting for permission to live your truth. The greatest stories ever told were not written by those who had all the answers. They were written by those who dared to ask new questions. They refused to be confined by the limits of their circumstances. They refused to be defined by what others said they couldn't do. Being the author of your life means taking responsibility not for what happened to you, but for what happens next. It means realizing that your circumstances may have shaped you, but they do not own you. You get to decide the tone of the next page. You get to decide whether your story is one of survival or of triumph. And when you choose to write with intention, with courage, with hope, Your story begins to inspire others to do the same. Every time you wake up, you are handed a blank page. Some will waste it repeating the same paragraph of yesterday, but not you. You have the power to write something new, something true, something bold. The story is yours to tell, and the world is waiting not to read about what happened to you, but to witness what you will create. Pain is a language life uses to speak to us. It's the echo that reminds us we are alive, that we've cared deeply, that something within us still believes there's more ahead. We spend so much of our lives running from pain, hiding it, numbing it, pretending it doesn't exist. But what if pain was never meant to destroy you? What if it was meant to shape you? The truth is, every struggle, every heartbreak, every loss carries within it a seed of purpose. The challenge is not to avoid the pain, but to transform it, to turn it into power. Turning pain into purpose begins with acceptance, not the kind that surrenders, but the kind that says, yes, this hurt me, but it will not define me. Because pain is not the end of your story. It's the middle, the turning point where something inside you decides that you will rise. It's in those moments when you have nothing left that your strength is born. The nights that broke you are the same nights that built your resilience. The tears you cried in silence are the ones that cleansed your fear. And every scar on your heart is proof that you survived. When you take that pain and give it meaning, you no longer carry it as a burden. You carry it as a badge. You start to see that the things that once made you feel weak are the very things that make you powerful. The person who has suffered and still chooses to love, to believe, to hope, that is someone unstoppable, because purpose is not found in comfort. Purpose is forged in the fire of adversity. So when life wounds you, don't close your heart. Don't let bitterness take root. Look deeper. Ask yourself what this pain is trying to teach you. Let it push you towards something greater, something more aligned with who you're meant to be, because every heartbreak can become healing for someone else. Every failure can become wisdom for those who follow. When you turn pain into purpose, your story no longer ends in suffering. It begins in strength, and that strength becomes a light that guides others through their own darkness. There will always be a voice inside your head that whispers, you can't. It's the same voice that tells you you're not ready, not good enough, not capable of something greater. That voice of doubt doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers so quietly that it sounds like reason, like caution, like safety. But make no mistake, doubt is a thief. It steals potential before it has a chance to live. It convinces dreamers to settle, fighters to rest, and believers to stop believing. And if you listen to it long enough, it becomes louder than your own heartbeat. Defying that voice of doubt doesn't mean pretending it doesn't exist. It means looking it in the eye and moving forward anyway. Courage is not the absence of doubt. It's the decision to act in spite of it. Every great achiever, every leader, every person who's ever changed the world has heard that same voice. The difference is they refused to let it make the final decision. They felt the fear, they felt the uncertainty, and still they took the next step because they understood that growth lives on the other side of discomfort. The voice of doubt thrives in silence and hesitation. The longer you wait, the stronger it becomes. But the moment you take action, even the smallest step, that voice begins to fade. You start to realize that doubt only has the power you give it. Each time you move forward despite it, you weaken its grip. Each time you choose courage over comfort, you rewrite the story it's been telling you. You must remember that doubt is not a reflection of your ability. It's a test of your belief. It shows up not because you're incapable, but because what you're attempting matters. It's proof that you're stepping into something bigger than your comfort zone. So when that voice rises again, and it will, Answer it with action. Prove it wrong not with words, but with motion. Because once you've taken the first step, the voice of doubt no longer defines your path, your courage does. And over time, that courage will speak louder than fear ever could, reminding you that you were always stronger than you believed. Change has never been easy. It asks you to let go of what's familiar, to step into the unknown with nothing but faith. It demands that you release the comfort of routine, the safety of certainty, and trust something you can't yet see. But the courage to choose change is what separates those who dream from those who do. It's the quiet decision that says, I will not stay the same, because staying the same may feel safe, but it also keeps you small. Growth begins the moment you decide that fear will not decide for you. Change will test you. It will challenge your patience, your persistence, your belief in yourself. It will make you question whether you're strong enough to keep going when the road feels uncertain. And yet, that's where the real transformation happens, not in the moments when it's easy, but in the moments when it's hard. The courage to choose change isn't about knowing what lies ahead. It's about trusting that you'll become strong enough to handle it when it comes. Every great story of success, every moment of reinvention began with a single act of bravery, the decision to begin again. Choosing change means walking away from excuses. It means no longer blaming the past, the people, or the circumstances that didn't go your way. It's realizing that nothing in your life will shift until you do. It's understanding that the walls around you are not made of stone, they're made of fear. And the moment you decide to face that fear, those walls begin to crumble. The path forward may be uncertain, but it's also full of possibility. So when life calls you to change, don't shrink back. Don't wait for permission or for the perfect moment, because neither will come. Take the step, speak the word, make the move. You will stumble, you will doubt, you will question yourself. But with every choice to move forward, courage grows stronger and fear grows weaker. Change doesn't happen when the conditions are right. It happens when your heart is ready. And once you choose courage over comfort, once you commit to change, you'll realize that you were never waiting for a new path. The new path was waiting for you. There is a moment in every journey when the noise fades and you realize that no one else can walk this path for you. You can dream about tomorrow. You can talk about change. You can plan for someday. But at some point, you have to begin. Your next chapter doesn't start when the world is ready. It starts when you are. Every sunrise is a blank page waiting for your words, your choices, your courage. Too many people wait for the right time, forgetting that time itself never waits for anyone. The clock is always ticking, and the future is always being written, whether you take control of it or not. Your next chapter starts the moment you stop rereading the last one, the moment you stop asking, why me? And start asking, what now? The moment you decide that you've learned enough from the past to let it go. Every ending carries within it the seed of a new beginning, and that beginning is not out there in the distance. It's right here, in this breath, in this decision, in this very second. You don't need permission to turn the page. You just need the will to move forward. Life has a way of waiting for those who take themselves seriously. When you act with conviction, the universe responds. Doors begin to open. Opportunities begin to appear. Strength begins to grow where weakness once lived. But none of that happens if you keep standing still, staring at the page you've already written. The past can teach you, but it cannot lead you. Only action can do that. Only faith can pull you from what was into what can be. Your next chapter is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were meant to be all along. It's about waking up to your own potential, your own power, your own purpose. The future isn't waiting to be discovered. It's waiting to be created. And every choice you make from this point on becomes part of that creation. So breathe deeply, stand tall, and take the first step, because the next chapter of your life has already begun, and it's yours to write with courage, with purpose, and with no looking back.